Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Bird the Nerd with another comic book market report for you. I was going to go live, but I don't got time to do that. So we're just going to get into this quick video. I think I have about 9 books this week. And if you do like these shows, please hit that like button, subscribe to all your friends. I got a couple shout outs in this video as well. A couple of these books I'm actually on the hunt for. Haven't really done that in a long time. You typically when a comic book comes on like a top 10 show or something like that, I don't really give into or want to go give into the FOMO, but some of these books are for my PC. Not really trying to sell these books, but I'm on my way to, or I'm going to go to SummerCon this year, which is in, I believe, July or June. I can't remember, and couldn't figure out what books I want to get signed. And I think because of these damn lists, I found a couple. So let's get into it. Like I said, I only have like 9 books this week. But and a little special announcement at the end of the show here. But let's get into it. So first off, Punisher 219. If you guys have not been watching Daredevil Born Again, I don't know what the hell happened in that last episode. I was texting Pickles and kind of asking him like, hey, or he asked me what the heck happened at the end of that episode. And I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't him. Now that I think about it a little more, maybe I was digging a little bit too much into it. But it did kind of bring my attention. Also, John Bernthal is going to be at SummerCon this year. It brought my attention to this old Punisher run. I remember reading this 218 to 228 run, and it doesn't really like impress me too much, but the covers made me a Clayton Crane fan. This went for $50 in a 9.6, not autographed, nothing, and a Raw went for 50, which, people always pay more for potential. I think it would have made way more sense to get the 9.6 obviously for $50. CPR it, send in to get signed. I don't know, but these books, especially 218, the one in I think 25 or 50 variant, which I was looking for, not really looking for that anymore, are synonymous for color rub. So to get these in 9.8 is pretty tough anyway, but to kind of gamble and pay $50 for a Raw instead of getting a 9.6. And that was sales at the end of the same day. I just don't get people's, I don't know, whatever. ASM 15, obviously this is not the OG ASM 15. This is the first appearance of Amadeus Cho, and you'll kind of see a pattern with the first 2 books, obviously, right? For me, the specs, if you call it spec or just FOMO, what have you, it's going to watching the shows again. Amadeus Cho shows up in the new Spider-Man cartoon. It's a really fun cartoon if you guys aren't watching it. 280 for 9.8. That is insanely low. I remember selling a 9.6 for like 270, and I thought I was like, I was upset. This book is really hard to get in a high grade. It's glossy, so you have that. It's super thick, and the back cover is synonymous for color rub. It's that Aeon Flux, I believe, movie poster. And this is a book from 2005. So this book's 20 years old, which is just crazy to me as well. Not very highly ordered. It's a one-shot. Amadeus Cho's like at the back. So if you're a presser and you can get an 90 on this book, like you are a G. Because I tried pressing this book. I got a 9.4 and a 9.6 in this book. And I felt I was pretty lucky. But Amadeus Cho, I don't know if you're specking on him, but 280 for a 9.8, regardless. If you're collecting the future of the MCU, I think it's not bad. And watching the shows, Daredevil Born Again is just killing it. Daredevil number 14. To me, this cover's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really dig it that much. But if you're a Muse fan or you're specking on Muse or just want to have it, I get why this is more appealing than the Daredevil 13 cover. $40 to $45 for this. I saw this also in like a pair, Daredevil 13 and 14 for like $100, which is pretty amazing. Like, he hasn't, this villain hasn't come out yet. He hasn't shown. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, so I mean, it makes sense. But we only have 5 episodes left of this show. The series is really giving me like Hardcore 7 vibes, and I'm really enjoying the show. It's kind of like back to basics, like Marvel storytelling. And if you don't watch the Netflix Daredevil or Punisher shows, like I thought that was must-see TV, man. I remember a friend was telling me like, you gotta check out the old school Punisher because I think you'd really enjoy it. And I didn't watch any of it. I didn't watch any of the Netflix stuff. But then I went back to watching it when I just needed something to look over, and I kind of want to watch them over again. Just a really good series, good storytelling. If you're not watching Daredevil right now, go and watch it. Go binge it. My biggest complaint about the Marvel shows in general is I feel like it's either they try and cram too much into like 8 episodes, or there's not enough time to tell the story in its full capacity. And I don't know if that's just like a trend of just comic book shows or just shows in general, but I feel like 8 to 10 shows, it's just not enough, and we want more. Shout out to the boys from the Stein's Top 10. I saw this book on their Almost 10, which I love their Almost 10 list. And this evidently is a one, or I don't know, it's a store variant. I think there's like 600, I can't remember. But there's a yellow version of this book, again, done by Clayton Crane, and this purple version, which is way more limited run. I just think it pops. I think anything purple just does really well, especially for like Clayton Crane art. I know there's a bunch of, I've seen online, there's a bunch of signed versions of this of Clayton Crane, but I wanted to get this because I think it'd be perfect for John Bernthal signing. Now, as you can see on the note there, if he's asking $300 for a signature, I'm out. That's just too much money to spend on one character or one autograph. Albeit it is John Bernthal. He is the Punisher. But if you guys are watching Science Top 10, obviously watch it. It's every Friday night. They do a top 10 list. And they do an almost top 10 list, which to me is really the dessert that's served first of their show. Yeah, give them a follow. Going some Skybound Image stuff. G.I. Joe is probably my favorite comic book to read right now, honestly. This is Duke number 1, the 1 in 200. When this book came out, it was selling for about $200, which makes sense. I don't normally like big ratio books, but I think this book, done by David Mack, however you think about him, I think this is like a great, it's just really cool art. I think if I had enough money, I'd probably buy like the original art, the OA to this book. This was $300 raw out the gate, and it looks, the last sale I saw on 9.8 was at $249. So if you are in the market for this, maybe try and get this for like $175 to $200. I don't like taking advantage of people, but like the market is the market. So I don't think I pay $250 for this anymore. I kind of didn't go into the FOMO fully, but it is a 1 in 200. So it has that going for it. It's a really good series. I thought the Duke series was really cool. Some people didn't like the Scarlet series. Cody. Just kidding, man. I love you. But yeah, I think this was a really cool, this was like the number 2, I would say, of the G.I. Joe like character comic books. Super rereadable. They're 1 in 4 miniseries or 1 in 5, I can't remember, but I just liked them all. It's all really good writing. Young Avengers number 10. This is the first appearance of Speed. I thought this Young Avengers series, like, again, is like underrated. I think it gets a bad rap because it's like the new Avengers and we're all old school collectors and we want our whatever. But I thought this was crazy. $4.99 for near mint copy. And I took a look at the pictures. It was pretty clean. Against first appearance of Speed, but I think for the cover, what made me want to look for this book was Hawkeye. Suppose he's coming back for season 2, supposedly. I think Haley Steinfeld has a pretty rich future in the MCU. There's no real direction, so I guess you kind of have that also. But like, if you're looking for a Haley Steinfeld book to get signed, this is a perfect one to get. And the series is pretty cool. Again, like if you haven't read the trade paperback, give it a read. It was a really cool series. Obviously, the best book to get out of all these is Young Avengers 1. That's also a pretty good discount. You can get a 9.8 for like $175 to $200. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about the future of the MCU. Something is Killing the Children number 6. There's this new vampire book that's coming. It's on a bunch of top 10 lists. I'm actually listening to the podcast, and evidently it's going to be on Netflix. I've been hearing Something is Killing the Children being on Netflix since this book came out. This whole series is like the pandemic boom. This is strictly like in the middle of the pandemic. I remember finding a couple issues of number 5 in like really bad condition for like cover price, selling it on eBay for like $90, and the buyer was super happy about, the story. I never really got into this personally. I just don't know. I'm not really into, for whatever reason, the story just wasn't. I'm not a James Tynion like fan. I don't like hate him, but I just don't. I don't like go to the comic store trying to find his stuff. But I would say, like, if you are a Something's Killing Children fan, like, this book has held up pretty good value. It's gone down a little bit since the pandemic, all the crazy free money and all that. But I'd say this is the holy grail of Something's Killing Children. One sale in February, raw, went for $1,000. There was a more, I guess, secure sale if you are specking on this and hoping it does come to the brick screen one day. In December, a signed one went for 9.8. People are not letting these books go, though. I think you have a lot of things going for this. It's a pandemic book. It's a great writer, beloved artist, and it's a ratio of a later issue of the book. I don't know what the print copy for issue 6 was for, like, the regular one. I gotta imagine it's like under 10,000. And I think this is a 1 in 25. And when I went to buy the number 6 and 5 copies of this book, I went to a very large retailer here in Seattle, and they only bought 20 of them. So you can imagine, of the stores that were actually open or didn't fail, they probably weren't buying 25 issues of this, or however many issues you need to get this. But that's pretty amazing data. This is a rare book. I hate to do this to whoever has this book, but I went specking, but I think this is a total flip. And when you're investing in stocks, when you're investing in comic books, when you're investing in cards, what have you, there's some cards or collectibles or stocks that you hold for a long time because there's just a infinite amount of people that are going to invest in it. And there's other books that are just going to pop, and you got to let them go. Fedora was called this out, and it came out hot out the gates. There was nothing going for this book at all. It was just a super cool cover, which I still think it is, and ratio of a very underordered series of Captain Marvel. We flipped it from $100 to $200. I sold my 98 for like 180 when the price was coming down. $425 for a raw copy of this book. That's all I'm gonna say. And last but not least, this is my book of the week, Sonic 77, the 1 in 10 ratio. Shout out to the fellas over at It's Drunken Chat. Did a phenomenal show this past Friday. Sir Christopher the Great, man, appreciate the shout outs. I wouldn't say I'm like a huge Sonic fan, but I do keep an eye out for Sonic stuff. And I picked up a couple copies of this. This is going for 16 to 20 bucks for the 1 in 10 ratio. It is sold out in Midtown. I just love the cover. I'm going to keep these copies. I'm just keep them in my PC, and maybe one day I'll press them and send them over to CGC. We'll see. But yeah, shout out to those guys. And if you're not following those guys on YouTube, Sir Christopher the Great's also on Instagram. He's a good dude, solid guy. And he's doing really good work over at Drunken Chat. They're lucky to have him, like, honestly. But yeah, glad to see those guys are back and doing their thing. So that is the end of the update today. Hope you guys have a great week. I actually will be going live again with Spec Media. He hit me up, and we're going to try and do like a once in a month type deal. So we're probably going to plan for that mid-April. I'll try and get the fellas from the Ronin 5 show back on sometime later this month, but just scheduling is just really tough right now. I'm just super busy, but I do appreciate everyone's support. Join the Discord. Have a great week, and don't pay too much for lumber from Canada. Bye.